All right. Well, let's do a review. 75-2 SVL Kubota. Should I have bought this or should I have kept the 65? That is the question. I get that question a lot. A lot of people say, hey, do you like your 75 better or your 65 better? That's kind of a loaded question. My 65, was it way quieter than this machine? Yep. Yeah, this machine's loud. And it's not the machine, it's inside. It's like an echo chamber. I showed you the video of putting sound deadening in the toolbox. I think putting the sound deadening on the toolbox lid probably helped more than anything else, but we put it on this wall as well on the back side. I still thought about putting more on it. It's just it echoes up through that box that they give you for a toolbox. I don't know if we need a toolbox and a skid loader, guys. I can't think of anything I'd put in there. If I've got a pair of gloves, I've got, you know, kind of a cubby, if you will, beside my seat that I could put my gloves. I got a lot of floor space. I could put something in there. I don't know if I'd worry about a toolbox if it's going to make it echo like that. But does this brush hog better? Yes, at times. If I'm on hillsides, if I'm in super thick material, yes, this brush hog's better. It should. It's got more horsepower. It's got more flow. Standard flow and high flow are both higher than the 65. And normally, you guys know my machines. I've been doing a lot of dirt, you know, a lot of mud work, I guess, going through mud and stuff like that. Normally, I don't have anything in my undercarriage. I'm actually going to clean it out here after we get done with the video. But something bangs up here in this front idler assembly area. I don't know what it is, but it bangs all the time. And I know for a fact that it is this side because I was moving some mulch with this thing and I was coming down off the lift that I was putting in. It was like a little mulch road. Customer wanted me to use some actual mulch from forestry mulching. And when I'd come down on the left, it wouldn't make the noise. Come down on the right, bang! Loud. I don't know what it is. I've got a couple other subscribers that had the same machine that watched for my Kubota content, and they said theirs do the same thing. Size-wise, everything's pretty much the same. It is a little bigger machine. You don't really feel it. It does really good on hillsides. The extra weight and horsepower, I think, probably helped me a little bit. Now today, I did mow a place that I've mowed before, and you can go back and watch my 65 videos mowing with the brush cat, and then you can watch today, or well, not today's video, but mowing it with the 75. There's kind of a hillside that it's kind of a bowl like this. It's fairly steep. I mean, it's not crazy, but it's steep enough. It'll kind of draw a machine down. It'll put a load on it. Today mowing it didn't load near as bad as with the Kubota. It's fairly steep. Usually I go uphill, so while the mower's going, that's just a strain on a machine. I'm not saying the Kubota would bog down hard enough to where you're gonna kill it, but it would draw it down some. You know, if you guys are doing dirt work, every once in a while mowing mainly flat stuff, if you're just putting a brush hog on a skid loader because you don't have a tractor, then I'd probably say you're good with a 65. Watch my videos. That 65 mowed an awful lot. I have a tractor to brush hog with. So if I'm able to mow it with the tractor, I'm gonna go mow it with the tractor. It's way more comfortable than this. It's got a steering wheel, nice suspension seat, got a lot of room, jam out, all kinds of room. I mean, it's big enough I can put a buddy seat in it. I have a buddy seat for it. I just haven't put it in yet. Anyways, but if you're solely brush hogging with a skid loader because you only want to own one piece of equipment and you're going to own a skid loader, you'll be totally fine with a 65. Will it mow steep stuff? Sure it will. I mean, watch my videos. I mow steep stuff. If I'm mowing with a skid loader, it's because it's steep. If you're doing dirt work, will a 65 do dirt work? Absolutely. Is it going to push through a pile like a 97 or a 95? No, it's not the same size machine. But will it push through a pile of dirt and grade a yard? Absolutely. I did it. I was pushing through dump truck piles with my 65 right back here in my backyard. I had, I don't know, 35 piles back here or something crazy lifting up that back corner. Did it push through them? Absolutely. They were big dump truck piles. They weren't, you know, legal to load. We were pulling a terrace out down here, so they were like heaped up, everything else. It was a big load. You have to be an operator, and you just have to know that you just can't push through it. I mean, heck, there's a lot of stuff you just can't push through with a bigger machine. I mean, there's a limitation. You learn it, and then you stay just this side of it, and the machine will do you good. But yeah, I think for me, the 75 was the best choice. It does have a little more power. It does have a little more flow. It does brush hog a little better with the brush cat. I mow a lot of maintenance stuff, so I mow a lot of the same stuff a month. And I've mowed it for a long time. I've mowed it with a lot of machines. I mowed it with a 323E John Deere, a 317G, a 325G. I like Deere machines. I've mowed it with the ASV. It was an RT75HD with 20-inch tracks. I've mowed everything that I mow right now with it. And I've mowed it all with a couple other different tractors. I've had some of the same properties for years and years. Anyways, and I can definitely say this will hang with the majority of the machines. I don't know if it's quite the machine a 325G is, but this is where it gets me from Deere. This opening, you know, you don't have your reveal cutoff right there with the swing out door and the floor space. You don't have this much space in the cab in a 325 Deere. Go look. You don't. Nowhere near. You probably have half that much space. I'm fine with hydraulic over hydraulic controls. I'm fine with electric over hydraulic controls. I can run either one. I don't really have a problem with either one. But I do like the door. It actually saves me from having to have a mini skid steer. I haven't had a mini skid steer now since I've had a Kubota last year. Like early last year, I think, is when I got the 65. Just because of this. I can raise the door up and then I can get out of the machine. Yes, you're not supposed to climb under your attachment. I usually try to make it to where my forks are over the bed or something. But if I need to get out, I'm not trapped. I can get out and load stuff or unload something or whatever. Everybody knows the cab. I showed you a video of putting the radio in. It's fairly clean right now. I try to keep it clean. We have 55 hours on it right now. So I'm kind of doing a 50-hour review of the 75. Mainly the comparison from a 75 to a 65. But it's flawless. I haven't had a single issue with it. I hope not at 50 hours, but you hear horror stories. Man, that undercarriage is driving me crazy just sitting here looking at it. You guys know me. I usually clean my stuff up. It's usually cleaner than that. I mean, I cleaned it to, you know, where I could. I just couldn't get it all because it was muck and stuck in. And anyways, I like the grease points. I've gone over that with the 65, but you know, you can literally park the machine just like this, and here are your grease points. You go boom, 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 grease, grease, and we already hit that one. And then you come down and you hit grease, 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 grease. I always park mine with the attachment plate off, and there's your grease for your quick attach. And make sure that you grease them on this. My old salesman told me make sure you grease them, especially when they're new, because they will lock up. I guess they're set up pretty tight. Other than that, you know, track adjustment, stuff like that. We switched the tracks. It's got 50 hours on it. Granted, those tracks weren't brand new, so they're not stretching or anything anymore. I I did have to adjust them within 10 hours of putting them on, and after that they're still adjusted. But everything's easy to get to. Everything's easy to get to under the hood. There's a bunch of review videos. I think I went over everything that was under the hood, but it's all same Kubota. I mean, I think the 95 and 7's a little different, but everything's same in here. I mean, it's a good little package, I think. I haven't had a lot of problems. It's got really good power. It pushes pretty good. It does push a little better than the 65. It's not worlds above, but anyways, I do wish they would change a couple things. I want to move that bucket control switch. Just put it right up here on top of this. Make this a little taller and put your bucket control switch and your light switch. Move your light switch from over to the side and put your light switch up here, and then your bucket lock over on the other side. You could put a cover on the bucket lock if you're worried about somebody hitting it accidentally. But when you're in this dark cab, you don't remember that you have a little light. I don't know if I can see it back there. You don't remember you have that little light to find your light switch. Light up the LED, or put a little LED on the light switch, or put it up here. Just make this console a little taller. Nobody's going to complain. And have your bucket disconnect and put your light switch. That's all you need to do, Kubota. I'm not going to sit there and adjust my AC. Everybody complains about that. I put it on cold and I hit the button. I turn it to 1, 2, or 3. I mean, and usually it stays on whatever number all day. I got tinted windows for a reason. Help me keep cooler. I don't know. That's probably the only thing I change. Would I put the radio in a different spot? Maybe, but then you're starting to, congest this up here when you're sitting in the seat. You don't want to congest it, but I guarantee you raising that a little bit to where it's still not even as tall as that is not going to impede your view. If it is, put it over here. I don't know. My 2 cents. They should come with LED lights automatically. It shouldn't be an option, but see, when we start doing that, then the price keeps going up. And Kubota keeps their price nice and low because they don't have touch screens. They don't have, all kinds of frills and fancy stuff. They don't have 13 million switches that control everything. The only thing I wish this did not have, or it was on a switch, is the auto bucket control. The auto bucket leveling. It's automatic. I don't know if you knew that about a 75. If you ran it, maybe you don't notice it. I noticed it right off because I kept trying to, manipulate my bucket. Or, when I went up to see how tall it was, it kept manipulating it for me. It's like, will you quit? And I didn't know where the switch was. I call him and I'm like, hey, what's the deal? And he goes, oh, it's automatic on it. You can't turn it on and off. Well, I finally got used to it. I'm just used to moving my bucket where I want it as I go up. It is kind of nice. It's got auto bucket leveling. If I'm loading a truck, I usually hit the switch. It was in my 65. You could flip the switch. But anyways, that's kind of my review. Yes, I think I made the right choice by going to a 75. But like I said before, if you're just grading yards and moving dirt, using it around the farm, you're only losing a couple 100 pounds lift capacity over the 65 going to this, or going from this to the 65 rather. I think there's only a couple pounds difference, and this thing's another 1,000 pounds heavier than a 65. So if you're transporting it, and you don't need to carry that extra 1,000 pounds, you can carry more attachments on your trailer maybe, or you could pull it with a smaller truck. I don't know. It's always a decision you guys have to make, but don't feel like you have to go to a 75 because you think that 65 is not worthy. It'll do its thing. And like I said, if I wasn't brush hogging steep hills all the time with my track machine, I'd probably still have my 65. It was definitely quieter. Definitely quieter. It's a noticeable difference. Anyways, hope it helps, guys. That's a little overview of what I think about the 65 and 75. Definitely a super close choice. I know there's about I don't remember, 8,000 or 9,000, maybe close to $10,000 difference in between a 75 and 65, spec'd out the same. You know, if you're high flow to high flow or standard flow to standard flow, cab to cab, there's like $8,000 or $9,000 difference in there. So that might be a determining factor too for you, going with a 65 over this. As always, please like and subscribe. If you like the content, let me know what content you do like. If you love the Kubota stuff, let me know. If you like my Yanmar stuff, let me know. Deer stuff, whatever. Can-Am Commander, we need to start doing some videos on a Commander. See if we can get some side-by-side guys watching our channel. And if you are still hanging out, we're at about 15 minutes. I apologize, it's a little long. Maybe we hit things 2 or 3 times, but please follow me on Instagram. I'm now on Instagram. I'm not a big social media guy, but everybody kept telling me I needed to get on Instagram. So now we're on Instagram. It is Skidco LLC. It's SKIDCO LLC. So please follow me on Instagram, and maybe we'll have some videos on there. We're probably just going to do some short videos. We probably won't do anything like what's on YouTube, but we'll see what happens. I'm new to it. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with it yet. So follow me on Instagram if you would, and we will see you guys later. And as always, have a good day. See ya.